Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel web for all things geeky and cool, and welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to a brand new video, and I'm really happy to talk about the products in this video. Of course, we're talking about the DC Superhero bars for 2022. I did videos for both the 2020 bars and 2021 bars. Please click the eye above my head if you have no clue what those bars are all about. I'll put links in the description of this video as well, because I'll be referring to those bars throughout this particular video. Again, this is the third year of both Hershey's and DC Comics in collaboration to put out these chocolate bars. And the 2020 to 2021 bars have changed dramatically and evolved from what we're seeing today, which again, I'll talk about more about those bars in the near future here in this particular video. So let me get everybody caught up on the same page here. Back in 2020, DC Superhero bars were released. That was the idea of these bars. It was a collaboration of both Hershey and DC Comics, mainly for first responders getting these bars first in hand during the heights of the pandemic. These bars came in a stack of 7 bars, 7 different characters based on the Justice League, and an 8th bar which was released down the road, and they redesigned the packaging for that bar. And they look like this. This is the 2020 set of bars here, and they did pretty well in the stores from what I've heard. They were hard to get a hold of. You had to get through multiple boxes to get these bars in hand. I got these basically at racetracks, gas station, and at Walgreens and Walmarts for the 2020 bars. Now go ahead 1 year in the future in 2021, they re-released them and redesigned the packaging for these bars and made a total of 10 bars. That we had 7 bars for 2020. 2021, we had a total of 10 bars and 3 new female characters were added to this set of bars. We had Supergirl, we had Batgirl, and we had Mara. 3 new female characters added to this wave of bars, and they redesigned the packaging, the deco. It looks different. The chocolate on the inside, again, these are all milk chocolate bars, basically stayed the same from 2020 to 2021. No big change there. Now, come 2022, the bars were redesigned again, and the distribution was completely changed. So everyone knows now, just to let you know, in my area in Florida, I went through a dozen Walmarts and went through at least 24 boxes to get what I currently have here. And there's not 10 bars in this wave of bars. There's technically 11 bars, and that will make sense what the 11th bar is all about momentarily. Now let's talk about packaging, what it looks like, the packaging looks like to buy these bars, and what sizes are currently available. So the packaging looks like this here. Very similar to last year's box. It says Hershey Milk Chocolate DC Superheroes Limited Edition. You have a side shot here of the new Wonder Woman Nubia here. Over here, again, another shot of DC Superheroes Nubia. Again, same deal here. Same deal, again, in front of the packaging here. Now, this does come with 36 bars in a box, and they're sold in basically stacks of 4. There's 9 characters deep with 4 rows of characters. Normally, you would get that in the 2020 box and 2021 box. In the 2022 box, the distribution was all over the place. It was extremely goofy. It failed on multiple levels. I'll talk more about that in a second. It'll make a ton of sense. Before we break down the particular bars themselves, we need to know the reference material, what these bars are all about. Where do they take their inspiration from? It was from a storyline back in 2021 called DC Future State. It was an idea that Dan Didio, which was the CEO of DC Comics at the time, was pitching and put together called 5G. It was a horrible event. It blew up in their faces. They even fired the CEO, Dan Didio, of the company because either the idea was horrible or the sales were so poor leading up to the event, they casted him out of DC Comics, and they had to basically repair and basically twist and turn and readjust how they're doing their storylines for these particular comics. And these comics were just poorly received, in my personal opinion. I didn't even read the storylines. The idea was basically, not to go too deep in the weeds, the main characters of both Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were all replaced basically with new characters with their same portfolio, their names. That was their idea, and that's what these bars take reference to, and it'll make sense when I come back to that momentarily. So as I mentioned, there's 11 bars this year for DC Superhero Bars 2022. It kind of evolved from last year's 2021 bars, which we had 10 characters. We have an 11th character here, which basically took up mostly all of the packaging for all those bars. So if they had, again, 36 bars in a box, half of those bars, 18 of them, was represented by, I guess we'll call it bar 0 here. The Wonder Woman Nubia bar. And again, the bars have evolved compared to the 2020 and 21 bars. I'll showcase the Superman bars side by side so you can see the evolution of the bar. But real quickly, you have limited edition here. And you got a nice little word bubble on this side right here saying, I am Wonder Woman. All bars have this little word bubble, very comic-centric, a very cool take of comics themselves. A bluish background for Nubia. Again, she took most of the real estate for these bars. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that near the end of the video. We don't have bar number 1. Bar number 1 one is Diana Prince, the true original Wonder Woman. I was not able to locate that bar. Again, the distribution was all over the place. It was horrible. I went through 24 boxes, could not find Wonder Woman. If you find her in your location, again, I'm in South Florida, maybe the distribution in different states, different geographical locations are different, hit me up in the comments if you have bar number 1. I want to get bar number 1 to complete my set. Bar 2 here is an aqua-colored bar, Wonder Girl, Eura Florin. Again, we have a word bubble here, bar 2 of 10 in the corner. We have, again, traditional Bruce Wayne, the yellow background. It was yellow in the original 2020 bars. 2021 bars had the yellow background, says Bruce Wayne right there. The new Batman in New York City is Jace Fox, which is the son of Lucius Fox. Again, word bubble, yellow background, very similar to Batman. The traditional Clark Kent Superman bar, right here, the Superman Clark Kent, got the word bubble, again, limited edition on the side. The John Kent, in continuity, the son of both Superman and Lois Lane, red text here saying Superman, red background, right there, of John Kent. Arthur Curry Aquaman, your traditional Aquaman, bar 7 of 10. We have another Aquaman, which is Jackson Hyde. Again, I think he's a dark-skinned character, maybe Hispanic. I'm not sure. I didn't read any of the Future State books, so I have no clue about this character. I refuse to. We have 2 Green Lantern bars here. We have Green Lantern John Stewart, green background. Again, word text right there, bar 9 of 10. And Joe, right here, Joe Mullane, a very cool Green Lantern, bar 10 of 10. Again, same green color here, very similar green color. It's a little bit different, a little lighter green color here at the bottom. But I think she, from what I've heard, I only read a few of her comics. I think she's the first lesbian Green Lantern. I could be wrong there. I think she's a lesbian. I'm not 100% sure. That's what I heard about these particular bars. Now let's take a look real quickly at the multi-pack bars, because the multi-pack bars come in 3 varieties. You have the Lucius Fox, or excuse me, the son of Lucius Fox here. You have Jace Fox snack size bar. You have that same John Kent one here, similar to the one we just saw earlier. And you have that same multi-pack here coming from Wonder Girl or Eura Florin as well. I'm going to take a shot of all these bars. Hopefully I can put a set together, and I will take the analog shot shortly of the Wonder Woman bar itself. But before I do that, let's talk about that evolution. I've mentioned it before. The bars changed radically compared to what they were when we started these bars originally back in 2020. So if we look at the bars themselves, have they changed? The original Superman bar looked like this. Bar 1 of 7. The 2021 bar looked like this. You now have Superman listed here and the blue color background. And again, this year in 2022, the bars were completely changed again with limited edition here on the wrapper. I'll showcase it. Hopefully it shows up. Might be too bright. But it says limited edition at the top. You have the blue words here, and it does say his identity, which is Clark Kent, because now you have multiple Supermans, or multiple Batmans, multiple Wonder Womans right there. Very good shot of Superman. Let's take a shot real quick of those miniature bars. Hopefully I can get that Wonder Woman pulled out for you and get a full set together. As you guys can see on your screen, I cracked open the mini bars here to see what we got. The allocation, again, is a bit goofy, just like the normal bars themselves. I got all the bars with the exception of Superman, Clark Kent. Again, I got 9 of the 10 bars. We got the, again, Diana Prince, the original Wonder Woman, bar number 1, which we do not have the standard size bar from. Please, guys, if someone gets one in your area, in my South Florida area, again, multiple Walmarts, over a dozen Walmarts, and we went through 24 boxes. There were no Diana Prince. This bar itself was not there when I went through all these boxes. This is technically bar number 1. If someone happens to get that bar, hit me up in the comments or hit me up at my email at rookgeekgoodness@gmail.com. Now we crack into what's under the wrapper here. I'm going to crack open an extra DC bar for the Green Lantern, Joe Mullane here. And also I'll crack open her miniature bar, so you can see what the miniature bar looks like as well. Again, here's a mini bar and normal bar kind of scale. This is basically 4 pieces of chocolate. This is your standard size Hershey bars. Let me crack into the standard size Hershey bar first. If you've never seen what these bars look like, it's probably very similar to the bars that we saw in the prior year's bars. So when you open it up here, it kind of broke in half. So let me showcase off a piece of what the bar looks like here. I'll put them together so you can see. So you get basically, when you put them together here, you get the Green Lantern symbol, all the symbols for all the characters. That's the idea here, guys. So you get the DC symbols for all the characters. Green Lantern, you get a power symbol, you get a Batman symbol, you get a bat signal. Wonder Woman, you get a bat car. So very, very similar to what we saw in 2020 bars in 2022. That was the idea for these bars. Now let's crack open the Joe Mullane bar here. Got her right here. So let's crack open her version here. Okay, and this is what it looks like here. Again, miniature chocolate. We don't even have a Green Lantern symbol on this one, so I kind of find that a bit ironic. But they look, basically it's just a 4 piece of chocolate compared to the normal size bar itself. Okay, final thoughts on the DC Superhero Bars for 2022. These bad boys right here. I think this is a pass. I think you should get the 2021 bars, personally speaking, if you can still find them. They're hard to find in stores now. They've basically been out of print as far as trying to locate them. A couple of the Walmarts did have the old bars, but they were really hard to come by. If you can, get those bars instead of these ones. I personally don't like the Future State event. I don't like having these double bars for characters representing for the new versions and the old versions. I think it was a bad idea. The new Bia bar, the new Wonder Woman, was horribly allocated. You're going to get most of these bars showing up here. That means the value for this one would technically tank as far as collectability goes, and bars like this would be more valuable because there's just less of them. There's, again, more Nubia bars for Wonder Woman than there are for other characters. I think it was a bad idea. I don't like what they did, the approach they did for 2022. Hopefully they do it next year in 2023. They got a bit different approach. These bars are a pass for me. My personal opinion speaking here, this would be a pass. I would not get these bars. If you want to get them for collectible items, fine, if you can locate them. Again, I couldn't find bar number 1 in my area. I tried, again, multiple locations. They did not have them. The allocation, again, is piss poor. It's all over the place. This is a hard pass, my personal opinion, for DC Superhero Bars in 2022. So I hope you do like this video. Give it a like on the bottom page. Click that all-important subscribe button, picture my face. When you subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, be notified of the latest videos. And of course, last but not least, click windows over here to watch more of my content. Take care, guys. See you next video. And bye-bye.